Hey everyone, welcomes back to the channel. Andrea Presti and Hunter Labrada recently competed at the 2024 Italy Pro Show, where Hunter Labrada emerged victorious, defeating Andrea Presti. This win secured Hunter Labrada's qualification for the 2024 Olympia. However, many fans and judges believe that Andrea Presti was unfairly judged and deserved to win. They argue that Andrea Presti was more shredded and peaked better than Hunter Labrada. Despite this, the judges awarded the victory to Hunter Labrada. In today's video, we will conduct an in-depth comparison of both athletes' physiques and provide my own opinion on who truly deserved to win the show. Let's dive into the analysis without wasting any time. But before starting the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video. It motivates us and helps us create more engaging content. When comparing Hunter Labrada and Andrea Presti in the front double bicep pose, we can see that both bodybuilders have their unique strengths and weaknesses. Hunter Labrada stands out with his impressive muscle mass, particularly in his arms and legs. His thick, well-developed arms give him a powerful look, and his quads show a lot of detail and size, adding to his overall presence. However, Hunter's midsection is a weak point, with his lower abs appearing distended and lacking deep definition, which somewhat detracts from his overall physique. On the other hand, Andrea Presti shines in terms of conditioning. His midsection is more defined compared to Hunter's, with tight abs that contribute to a sharp and aesthetic look. Andrea's legs also show good muscle separation, enhancing his overall presentation. The main drawback for Andrea is his overall size. While his muscles are well defined, he doesn't quite match up to Hunter in terms of sheer muscle mass, especially in the arms and legs. This size difference makes it challenging for Andrea to compete with Hunter's imposing presence on stage, despite his superior conditioning. Both bodybuilders bring different strengths to the pose, with Hunter dominating in size and Andrea excelling in definition and aesthetics. In the front lat spread pose, Hunter impresses with his remarkable width and size, as his large chest and wide lats back muscles expand impressively, giving him a commanding and imposing presence on stage. His legs continue to be a strong point, displaying excellent definition in the quads that adds to his overall impact. However, Hunter's midsection remains a concern, with the distension in his lower abs making his waistline appear somewhat bulky. This issue detracts from the clean, tight look that is typically desired in this pose, slightly undermining his otherwise impressive display. On the other hand, Andrea Presti shines in terms of conditioning and symmetry. His abs are more defined than Hunter's, contributing to a tighter overall appearance. Andrea's legs also show good detail, helping him achieve a balanced and aesthetically pleasing look from the front. The main drawback for Andrea, similar to the previous pose, is his overall size. He struggles to match Hunter's impressive chest and lat width, which makes him appear smaller in comparison. This size difference is particularly noticeable in the front lat spread, where width is a key factor. Despite this, Andrea's superior conditioning allows him to present a more refined and chiseled physique, even if he can't quite match Hunter's sheer mass and width. Both bodybuilders bring different qualities to the pose, with Hunter dominating in size and width, while Andrea excels in definition and overall symmetry. In the side chest pose, Hunter Labrada truly shines in this pose, with his impressive chest thickness and leg size taking center stage. His quads and hamstrings appear remarkably large from the side view, creating a powerful and imposing silhouette. Hunter's chest looks full and round, which helps him stand out significantly during the call-out. These attributes combine to give Hunter a dominant presence in this particular pose. However, it's worth noting that while Hunter's midsection isn't as much of a distraction in this pose as it was in others, there's still room for improvement in terms of overall tightness and definition. On the other hand, Andrea Presti brings his own strengths to the side chest pose. He displays solid chest thickness, which allows him to somewhat keep pace with Hunter in this aspect. Andrea also shows decent leg separation from the side, contributing to a more defined look. One of Andrea's consistent strengths is his conditioning, which remains on point in this pose, showing sharpness throughout his entire body. This gives him a crisp, well-defined appearance that contrasts with Hunter's more massive look. However, Andrea's primary weakness in this pose, as in others, is his leg size. While he maintains good conditioning, his legs simply lack the mass to compete effectively with Hunter's dominant quads and hamstrings. This size discrepancy is particularly noticeable in the side chest pose, where leg mass plays a crucial role in creating an impressive side profile. Despite this, Andrea's superior conditioning allows him to present a more chiseled and defined physique, even if he can't match Hunter's sheer size. In summary, this pose highlights the contrast between Hunter's dominant size and Andrea's superior conditioning, with Hunter having a clear advantage in this particular comparison. In the back double bicep pose, Hunter Labrada and Andrea Presti each bring their unique strengths to the stage, creating an interesting comparison. Hunter's impressive back width and overall muscle mass give him a significant advantage in this pose. His upper back and traps are thick and well developed, contributing to a strong and imposing presence from the rear view. This sheer size and width make Hunter stand out and catch the eye immediately. However, Hunter's lower body, particularly his glutes and hamstrings, aren't as tightly conditioned as one might expect at this level of competition. The area through his glutes appears somewhat softer compared to his competitor, which slightly detracts from his overall package in this pose. On the other hand, Andrea Presti truly shines in the back double bicep, making it one of his strongest poses of the comparison. Andrea's conditioning from the back is exceptional, particularly in his glutes and hamstrings, where he clearly surpasses Hunter. His physique looks tight and dry with deep muscle separation visible in the lower body, creating an impressive display of definition and detail. Andrea's back also showcases excellent conditioning, with good muscle detail that adds to his overall presentation. This superior conditioning gives Andrea a crisp, well-defined look that contrasts sharply with Hunter's more massive appearance. However, despite Andrea's excellent conditioning, he still faces a challenge when it comes to overall size from the back. He lacks the same width and thickness in his upper back that Hunter possesses, which prevents him from completely outshining his competitor in this pose. This size discrepancy is particularly noticeable in the back double bicep, where back width plays a crucial role in creating an impressive silhouette. Hunter's dominance in size and mass versus Andrea's superior conditioning and definition. While Hunter's sheer size gives him an edge, Andrea's exceptional conditioning, particularly in the lower body, allows him to remain competitive and even excel in certain aspects of this pose. In the back lat spread pose, Hunter's impressive lat width once again takes center stage, allowing him to appear dominant from the back. His upper body looks large and imposing, with broad shoulders and a wide back that create a striking V-taper. This sheer size and width give Hunter a commanding presence on stage, immediately drawing the eye and creating a powerful silhouette. However, similar to the back double bicep pose, Hunter's lower body, particularly his glutes and hamstrings, lacks the sharpness needed to fully complement his impressive upper body. This slight imbalance in conditioning between his upper and lower body somewhat detracts from his overall package in this pose. On the other hand, Andrea Presti continues to shine with his exceptional conditioning, especially in his lower body. His tightness in the glutes and hamstrings remains a strong point in this pose, giving him a more defined and chiseled appearance from the back. Andrea's superior conditioning in these areas allows him to present a sharper, more detailed look compared to Hunter, particularly in the lower body. This level of definition helps Andrea stand out and compete effectively despite his size disadvantage. However, Andrea's upper body size remains a challenge when compared to Hunter's. He simply can't match Hunter's impressive lat width and overall back thickness, which makes him appear smaller in comparison. In the abs and thighs pose, Hunter's standout feature in this pose is undoubtedly his impressive quads, which display excellent detail and size. His leg muscles are deeply separated, giving him a commanding and powerful look from the front. This leg development allows Hunter to make a strong impact in a pose that heavily emphasizes lower body muscularity. However, Hunter's midsection remains a significant issue, as it has been throughout the comparison. His abs lack the deep cuts and definition that would typically make this pose more impressive for a bodybuilder of his caliber. The distension in his lower abs is particularly noticeable in this pose, making his waistline appear less defined and somewhat detracting from the overall aesthetic of his physique. On the other hand, Andrea Presti shines in this pose with his superior midsection development. His abs are much tighter and more clearly defined than Hunter's, contributing to a more aesthetic overall look. Andrea's excellent conditioning helps him present a more refined and chiseled appearance, particularly in the abdominal area, which is crucial for this pose. This gives Andrea a significant advantage in terms of overall aesthetics and balance. However, while Andrea's abs are superior, his quad development can't quite match up to the size and detail of Hunter's legs. Andrea's overall leg mass is lacking in comparison, which hurts his presentation in this pose where leg development is equally important to abdominal definition. This size discrepancy in the legs is particularly noticeable when the two bodybuilders are compared side by side. In the most muscular pose, Hunter Labrada's overall muscle thickness and size are his standout features. His shoulders, chest, and arms look full and dense, giving him a powerful and commanding presence. His traps are thick and prominent, adding to the size of his upper body, and his quads show excellent separation and size, creating a balanced look. However, his midsection is a weakness as the distension in his lower abs prevents his core from looking tight and compact, detracting from the crispness of the pose. On the other hand, Andrea Presti's main advantage is his conditioning. His midsection is much tighter and more defined compared to Hunter's, with clearly visible abs that give him a cleaner and more aesthetic look. His chest, while not as thick as Hunter's, is well defined, and his shoulders and arms display good separation, highlighting his sharp conditioning. Andrea's overall symmetry and tightness create a polished presentation. However, his size is a limiting factor. His chest and arms lack the fullness and density that Hunter brings to the stage, and his legs, although defined, do not have the same level of mass and thickness, making him appear smaller and less imposing. In summary, Hunter's sheer muscle mass makes him look dominant, but his distended midsection detracts from the overall aesthetic, while Andrea excels in conditioning with a tighter midsection and sharp muscle separation. But his lack of size compared to Hunter means he doesn't have the same visual impact. Hunter Labrada had the edge in terms of size and muscle mass, particularly in his legs and upper body. His poses from the front and side showcased his massive frame, but his midsection was a consistent weakness throughout. Additionally, his chest and lower body conditioning from the back were not as tight as expected. Andrea Presti was impressed with his conditioning, especially in the back poses. His glutes and hamstrings were tighter and more defined than Hunter's, but his size was a major disadvantage. Despite his sharpness, Andrea couldn't match Hunter's overall mass, which is why he was likely to place second in the show. What do you think? Who really won this pose down between Hunter Labrada and Andrea Presti? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more bodybuilding content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.